Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting, and we're going to explore a small but interesting piece of Australian currency, the Australia 10 cents coin from the year 2005, especially in very fine condition, and what its value looks like in today's market. Let's begin with a little history. The Australian 10-cent coin was first introduced in 1966, when Australia transitioned to decimal currency. Since then, it has remained one of the most recognizable coins in the country. The 2005 version continues this legacy, featuring the iconic design that collectors and everyday users both appreciate. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find the elegant image of a lyrebird, a native Australian bird known for its incredible ability to mimic sounds. This design was created by Stuart Devlin, whose artwork has become a permanent part of Australia's coin identity. On the obverse side, the coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, reflecting Australia's historical ties to the British monarchy. Now let's talk about condition, because in coin collecting, condition is everything. A 2005 Australian 10-cent coin in very fine condition means it has been in circulation, but still retains a good amount of its original detail. The major features, like the lyrebird's feathers and the Queen's portrait, are still clearly visible, though there may be somewhere on the high points. This level of preservation makes the coin appealing to collectors who are looking for quality pieces without necessarily paying premium uncirculated prices. Moving on to the physical characteristics, the coin is made from cupronickel, which is an alloy of copper and nickel. This composition gives the coin its silver-like appearance and durability. It weighs approximately and has a diameter of making it slightly larger than some other coins in everyday use. The coin has a round shape with a milled edge, which not only adds to its aesthetic appeal, but also helps prevent counterfeiting. These consistent specifications have remained unchanged for decades, contributing to the coin's reliability and recognizability. When we talk about collector demand, the 2005 Australian 10-cent coin is considered a common circulation coin, which means millions were produced and released into the economy. However, that doesn't mean it has no value for collectors. Many enthusiasts enjoy collecting coins by year, and completing a full set of Australian decimal coins requires finding each date, including 2005 for beginner collectors. This coin is a great entry point because it is affordable and relatively easy to find in decent condition. For more experienced collectors, the focus might shift toward finding higher-grade examples or coins with unique errors or variations. Now let's discuss the most exciting part, the current market value. In very fine condition, a 2005 Australian 10-cent coin typically holds a modest value. In most cases, it is worth around $1,030,000 to $150,000 Australian dollars. While this may not seem like a large amount, it's important to remember that coin collecting is not always about high prices. It's about the history, the enjoyment, and the journey of building a collection. If the coin were in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, its value could be a bit higher, especially if demand increases over time. For collectors, there are always opportunities to make the most out of coins like this. One helpful tip is to carefully check your coins for condition and cleanliness. Avoid cleaning them, as this can actually reduce their value. It's better to store them in protective holders or albums to prevent further wear. Another tip is to stay informed about the market. Sometimes, coins that seem common today can become more desirable in the future due to changing collector trends. Networking with other collectors and joining coin communities can also enhance your knowledge and help you discover hidden gems. As we come to the conclusion, the Australia 10 cents coin from 2005 in very fine condition may not be a rare treasure, but it certainly holds its place in the world of numismatics. It represents a piece of everyday history, a connection to Australia's culture, and a stepping stone for collectors at all levels. Whether you're just starting your collection or adding another date to your set, this coin reminds us that even the smallest pieces can have meaningful stories behind them. Next up, today, we're going to explore a fascinating piece of Australian currency that may look small and ordinary at first glance, but holds a unique place in both history and the collector's market. We're talking about the Australia 10 cents coin from the year 1981, especially in very fine condition, and what its value looks like in today's market. Let's begin by stepping back in time to understand the history behind this coin. The Australian 10-cent coin was first introduced in 1966, the same year Australia transitioned to decimal currency. By 1981, this coin had already become a familiar part of everyday transactions across the country. It carries with it not just monetary value, but also a reflection of Australia's identity and heritage. The design on the reverse side features the beautiful lyrebird, one of Australia's most iconic native birds, known for its incredible ability to mimic sounds. This artistic design was created by Stuart Devlin, whose work continues to be admired by collectors around the world. On the obverse side, you will find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, symbolizing Australia's connection to the British monarchy at the time. Now let's talk about the condition, which plays a very important role in determining a coin's value. A 1981 Australian 10-cent coin in very fine condition means that the coin has been circulated but still retains clear details. The major features like the feathers of the lyrebird and the Queen's portrait remain visible, although there may be some wear on the high points. This level of preservation makes the coin attractive to collectors who want something historic yet affordable. Moving on to the background and composition of the coin, the Australian 10-cent coin is made of cupronickel, which is an alloy consisting of. This composition gives the coin its silver-like appearance and also makes it quite durable. The coin weighs approximately and has a diameter of about with a distinctive circular shape that has remained unchanged for decades. Its durability is one of the reasons why many of these coins are still found in circulation or collections today. Now let's explore collector demand, which is where things start to get interesting. While the 1981 Australian 10-cent coin is not considered extremely rare, it still holds value among collectors, especially those who are passionate about completing full-date sets of Australian decimal coins. The demand increases slightly for coins in better condition, particularly those classified as very fine or higher. Collectors appreciate coins that have a clear design and minimal damage, and even common coins can become desirable when they are well preserved. When we talk about the current market value, it's important to set realistic expectations while staying positive. As of today, a 1981 Australian 10-cent coin in very fine condition typically holds a market value of around $20,000 to $175,000. While this may seem modest, the real value lies in its collectability and historical significance. Coins in higher grades, such as extremely fine or uncirculated, can fetch a bit more, especially if they are part of a complete collection or sold to the right buyer. For those who are interested in collecting or already have this coin, here are some helpful insights to keep in mind. Always store your coins in a dry and safe environment to prevent damage from moisture or scratches. Using coin holders or albums can help preserve their condition over time. It's also a great idea to learn how to properly grade coins, as this will help you understand their true value. Even small improvements in condition can make a noticeable difference in price. Most importantly, enjoy the process of collecting. Every coin has a story, and building a collection is about more than just money. It's about history, passion, and discovery. As we come to the conclusion, the Australia 10-cent coin from 1981 in very fine condition may not be a rare treasure worth thousands, but it carries something equally valuable. It represents a piece of Australia's past, a beautifully designed coin that continues to inspire collectors around the world. Its affordability makes it a perfect entry point for beginners, while its historical charm keeps experienced collectors interested. So next time you come across a simple 10-cent coin, take a closer look. You might just be holding a small piece of history in your hands. Next up, today we talk about small coins with big stories. The Australia 10-cent coin from 1968 is a perfect example. At first glance, it may look like just another old piece of change, but once you dive into its history and character, you begin to realize that this little coin carries a legacy of Australia's transition into modern currency and its strong cultural identity. The year 1968 places this coin in the early period after Australia adopted its decimal currency system in 1966, replacing the old pounds, shillings, and pence. This shift was a major milestone in the country's economic history, and coins like the 10-cent piece became symbols of a new financial era. The coin was produced by the Royal Australian Mint, which ensured high-quality standards and consistent design across all denominations. Because of its early minting period, the 1968 coin holds a special place among collectors who appreciate coins from the beginning of the decimal age. Now, when we talk about the condition of this particular coin described as rust-old fine condition, it tells an interesting story. Technically, these coins are made of cupronickel, which is a mixture of copper and nickel, so they do not actually rust like iron. However, over decades, exposure to moisture, dirt, and environmental factors can cause discoloration, staining, or surface corrosion that gives it a rusty appearance. A coin in fine condition means it has been circulated and shows visible wear, but the major details like the design, lettering, and edges are still clearly recognizable. In a way, this wear adds character, showing that the coin has traveled through time and many hands. The Australian 10-cent coin features a beautiful and iconic design. On the reverse side, you will find the elegant lyrebird, a native Australian bird known for its incredible ability to mimic sounds. This design was created by Stuart Devlin, whose artwork appears on many Australian coins. The obverse side traditionally features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, representing Australia's connection to the Commonwealth. The coin weighs about and has a diameter of giving it a solid feel despite its small denomination. The cupronickel composition ensures durability, which is why many of these coins have survived decades of circulation. When it comes to collector demand, coins like the 1968 Australian 10-cent occupy an interesting space. They are not extremely rare, but they are definitely desirable, especially for beginners and intermediate collectors. Many collectors aim to complete sets of early decimal coins, and the 1968 issue is an essential part of that journey. Coins with unique features, such as unusual toning, heavy wear, or environmental damage sometimes attract niche interest because they tell a different story compared to perfectly preserved coins. While high-grade uncirculated coins are always more valuable, even fine-condition coins have their own charm and demand among those who appreciate history over perfection. Now let's talk about the current market value, which is often the most exciting part for viewers. In today's market, a 1968 Australian 10-cent coin in fine condition with visible wear and some surface issues like discoloration typically holds a modest value. In most cases, such a coin may be worth around $148,000 to $175,000, depending on its exact condition, eye appeal, and buyer interest. If the coin has heavier damage or significant corrosion, which is 10 cents in Australian currency, or slightly above as a collectible piece. However, if the coin has better preservation with only light wear, it could reach the higher end of that range, or even slightly more among enthusiastic collectors. For collectors, this coin offers a great opportunity to learn and grow in the hobby. One important tip is to always store coins properly to prevent further damage. Using coin holders or albums can protect them from moisture and air exposure. It's also wise to avoid cleaning old coins, even if they look dirty, because cleaning can reduce their value significantly. Instead, preserving their natural condition is often the best approach. Another useful tip is to research and compare prices across different marketplaces so you understand the true value before buying or selling. Building knowledge over time is what turns a simple hobby into a rewarding experience. As we come to the conclusion, the Australia 10 cents 1968 coin in fine condition reminds us that value is not always about rarity or high price. Sometimes, it is about the story behind the coin, the era it represents, and the journey it has taken through time. Whether you are a beginner collector or someone who simply enjoys historical items, this coin offers a meaningful connection to Australia's past and its transition into a modern economy using the Australian dollar